Hello students, all of you are welcome in this session. Today we are discussing about a very important but simple topic of class 11th chemistry. Today our topic is to make an empirical formula from percentage composition given for a compound. In this topic, first of all, we should very aware about difference between molecular formula and empirical formula. So let's understand the difference between them by the simple example in the beginning. Here are the 4 examples as formula for understanding the difference between the empirical formula versus molecular formula. Now, molecular formula and empirical formula given in this table. First, compare first formula of water. Both have the same formula, molecular formula as well as empirical formula. But in the example number 2, it is very clear that in the molecular formula C2H4O2 given, but at the same time in molecular formula the number of atoms reduced to a simple ratio 1 raised to 2 raised to 1. Now again example number 3, same, both have the same number of atoms in molecular formula as well as empirical formula. But in example number 4, it is the formula of glucose. Now molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6, but at the same time its empirical formula again reduced to 1 raised to 2 raised to 1. It means the empirical formula is the simplest ratio of atom in a compound, but at the same time molecular formula is the exact formula which contain exact information about the total number of atoms present in a compound. We should be very clear in two things. The molecular formula and the empirical formula can be identical. Both have identical in some cases, but not always. We can scale up the empirical formula to in a molecular formula by the multiplying by a simple whole number factor, like this. In this example, if we multiply the empirical formula by this, we can obtain our formula. If we multiply this ratio to 6, then we can obtain the formula of glucose. Now, definition point of view, empirical formula versus molecular formula. What is an empirical formula? The formula of a compound expressed as the same smallest possible whole number ratio. It is focused on ratio of a subscript of the element in the formula. For example, CH2O, it has ratio of 1 raised to 2 raised to 1. But at the same time, molecular formula, it is the formula of a compound in which the subscript given the actual number of each element in the formula. Now example is C2H4O2. It shows the actual number of element present in a compound. Again, if we convert into an empirical formula, we have to write in ratio C1H2O1. Again, ratio is 1 raised to 2 raised to 1. This is the empirical formula for this compound. I hope you understand the empirical formula versus molecular formula. Now our topic is, if the percentage mass of percentage of an element is given in the form of composition, then how we calculate the empirical formula. For this calculation we follow some steps. The steps are, first step is percentage to mass. If we are provided some element in percentage form, so in the first step we convert the percentage into mass, which is convert into grams. In step number 2, the mass which obtained in the step number 1, we calculate mass into moles by the dividing the mass obtained divided by the molar mass. Now step number 3, by obtaining this, whatever value we get, we divide the smallest value to all the mole present in step number 2. And the last step is multiply till whole number we get to get empirical formula. It is very easy process, but we have to take an example to understand all these topics. Now start with example. Calculating empirical formula. What if a percent composition is given? How do we find the empirical formula? Let us take an example. Example, a chemical analysis of a liquid shows that it is a 60% of carbon, 13.40% of hydrogen and 26.60% of oxygen by mass. Calculate the empirical formula of the substance. Now we are here provided the percentage composition of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Three elements are present and the percentage composition is given by mass. Now what we do, we follow the step number 1. Step number 1 is the convert to the mass in grams. Assume we have 100 gram of sample. Now convert the percentage to the gram. If 60% carbon is given in the compound, then we convert into 60 gram of carbon if the compound is taken in 100 gram. Okay, I think you are clear. We are assuming that we are taking 100 gram of compound. Now according to question, 60% is carbon is given, so that we are taking 60 gram of carbon as a mass. At the same time, if 13.40% of hydrogen is given, it means we are taking 13.14 gram of hydrogen. Now remaining is 26.60 gram percentage of oxygen. Now we convert into mass, 26.60 gram of oxygen. Now we get all the digit, all the percentage in the form of mass: 60 gram of carbon, 13.40 gram of hydrogen and 26.60 gram of oxygen. Here an important point is there. In some problems, in some examples, you also noticed that percentage of oxygen is not given. So very initial state we have to calculate all the percentage, that all the percentage must equal to the sum of 100. Here in the example, all if we add the all the percentage, then we get 100. It means we take the mass of 100 grams. But in some problem, oxygen is not given or the total sum of the percentage given are not equal to the 100. So that in that particular case, if the percentage is not equal to the 100, then remaining percentage count to be as a oxygen percentage. In this example, oxygen is given, but in same case, some cases you not obtained, you are not provided the percentage of oxygen. So we have to all, before the starting the calculation, we must secure our side to sum up the all the percentage given. If the percentage given is not equal to the 100, then remaining percentage is equal to the percentage of oxygen. Now I think you are clear. Now we move to the step number 2. Step number 2 is the convert our mass into moles. What we get to get in moles, the mass is there, then we divide simple molecular mass of an element. Our example contains 60 gram of carbon now. Now we have to divide the carbon 60 gram by the molar mass of carbon. For that we divide by 60 to 12.01 gram of carbon. It is the molar mass of carbon. Then what we get? We get the number of moles. We get 5 mole of carbon. Okay, I think you clear. 60 gram of carbon is given, then we divide by 12.01, which is the molar mass of carbon, then we get the number of mole. The step number 2 is convert mass into the mole. Now the second element, (13.40 gram of hydrogen). Now again, if we want to mole, then we divide by the molar mass of hydrogen, then we will get 13.27 mole of hydrogen for this compound. Now the element number 3, oxygen, 26.60 gram of oxygen. Then we divide by 16, which is the molar mass of oxygen. Then we will get the number of mole, 1.66 mole. Now after the getting the moles, we just compare all the quantities received. For first element carbon we get 5 moles, second element 13.27 moles of hydrogen, and third element of which is oxygen is get 1.66 mole. Now before the proceeding for the step number 3, very important point is there. Of the 3 calculated number, this is the smallest decimal in the mole. We find the smallest decimal in the mole, which is 1.66. So you divide all the other decimal and itself by that number particular. It means if we take the different composition, percentage composition, then we get the moles. So whatever the mole we obtain the smallest decimal we get in the term of mole, we divide all the number of moles with the smallest mole. In this case 1.66 the smallest value. Now divide by the smallest to get the whole number. We divide the mole of carbon by the 1.66. Again we divide the moles of hydrogen by the moles value of 1.66, and same we divide the 1.66 mole of hydrogen with the value of 1.66. All three value must be divided by the value of 1.66. Now after dividing we get the moles, exact number of moles in whole number. Now we get the moles of whole number in the for the carbon 3.01 mole of carbon. We get 7.99 mole of hydrogen, and we get 1 mole of carbon. Now we get the moles in whole numbers. What is the importance of third step? We get the moles in whole numbers. In the step number 2, sometimes we get the moles in the fraction value. To convert the fraction value in a whole number, we must divide the smallest decimal to the all moles. Now we get the moles in a whole number. Now we proceed for the step number 4. Our step number 4 is round these answer to the nearest whole number and use them as a subscript on the final empirical formula. We get the value of 3.01, 7.99 and 1. We just convert the nearest whole number. We get just 3, we just get 8, and we just get 8. These are the number which can be used to writing a compound formula in a empirical form. Now we get the simplest ratio of the element. The empirical formula of a given compound would be C3H8O1. C3H8O1, which is the our answer. I think you should just follow the all 4 steps and we get our empirical formula in very accurate manner. Now we take example number 2 for the empirical formula. Just follow the 4 steps we discussed in the previous example. A compound consists of 72.2% of magnesium and 27.8% of nitrogen by the mass. What is the empirical formula? Again we just sum up the 22.2, 77 and 27.8, we get 100. It means all the percentage is given. Now we just start the step number 1. Step number 1 is they convert the mass into gram. 72.2% of magnesium converted into mass, 72.2 grams of magnesium, and again 27% of nitrogen convert into 27 gram of nitrogen. Now we have the mass of the elements. Now convert the mass or gram into the moles. Simple step. We just divide the mass obtained divide by the molar mass. Here is the molar mass of magnesium is 24.31. Now we get the number of moles, 2.97 moles. Again 27.9 gram of nitrogen divided by the molar mass of nitrogen, which is 14.01 gram of nitrogen. Then we will get the number of moles. Again we have obtained the moles but in the fraction value. To get the whole number we have to follow the step number 3. Now step number 3, divide each by the smallest decimal in the moles to get the whole number. Now we are here with two values, 2.97 and 1.99. Now the smallest value is 1.99, so we just divide the two values with 1.99. Now step number 3, divide the both value with 1.99. We get the whole numbers. We get the value of 1.49 moles of magnesium and 1 mole of nitrogen. But again there is a problem. We get the number of moles of nitrogen in a whole number, but here the moles of magnesium is not completely convert into the whole number. Now to overcome this problem we just multiply the suitable number to get the whole number. We have to get rid of 1.49. If we multiply by the 1, we get the same number. So let's multiply by the 2 and see what happens. Remember, whatever we do one side, we do to other side also. If 1.49 gram of magnesium multiplied by the 2, we get 3 moles of magnesium. Now the magnesium moles also convert into whole number. At the same time, if the 1 mole of nitrogen again multiplied by the 2, we get the 2 moles of nitrogen. The empirical formula. Now we get the moles in a simple whole number. Magnesium, for magnesium we get the 3 moles, and for nitrogen we get the 2 moles. Now the empirical formula of a compound would be Mg3N2. Mg3N2. Now understand, the whole number simplest ratio of a compound is the empirical formula. Now we proceed for the example number 3. How do we determine the molecular formula from the empirical formula? In the example number 1 and 2, we get the empirical formula from the percentage composition given. Now what we do, now we are getting to the approach of calculating molecular formula from empirical formula. Let us take example. The example is, the empirical formula is of a compound is P2O5, the simplest ratio. In the experimental molar mass of 284 gram per mole, determine the molecular formula of a compound. We are provided the empirical formula P2O5, which has the molar mass of 284 gram per mole. Now, how we calculate the empirical formula? Find the molar mass of empirical formula. Very first, we have to calculate the molar mass for the empirical formula. Here, the 2 moles of phosphorus into multiply by the molar mass, 61.94 gram of phosphorus, and 5 mole of oxygen multiplied by the 16.00 gram molar mass of the oxygen. We get 80 gram of oxygen. Now the total molar mass of empirical formula is 141.94 gram. It is the molar mass of the empirical formula. So in the first step, we calculate the molar mass for the empirical formula given in a problem given. Now molar mass of a compound divided by the molar mass of empirical formula. What we get in the step number 1, the experimental molar mass of the compound which given, and molar mass calculated in the step number 1 of empirical formula. This is the mass of experimental value 284 gram per mole, which is given in the problem, and in the step number 1 we calculated the value of molar mass of empirical formula. Just divided the molar mass of empirical formula with the molar mass of compound given. Now we will get a number which is equal to a simple whole number. By the multiply subscript from the empirical formula by the given, by the obtained answer in the step number 2, we get the molecular formula. Our empirical formula is P2O5. Now we have to multiply with this number 2, which will be get in the step number 2, and finally we get the molecular formula of its compound is P4O10. P4O10. Now some assignment are there, but before go to assignment, you just revise all the topics, all the steps. Only 4 steps have to followed. In the problem number 3, the empirical formula versus molecular formula, you just focused to get a simple whole number before the multiplying the empirical formula to get molecular formula. Here are the 3 problems which are given as an assignment. You just practice with them and learn. If you have any problem, then just discuss with your teacher or read the book. Thank you.